Alright everybody, how y'all doing this evening?
I'm doing great after that episode of SmackDown.
Very good.
It's good. So, just jump right in here. Marks the announce table. You got me, Uncle John, Miguel, K Moans Incorporated, Ryan Storm. Anybody want to give any input? Of course, we're going to talk about Raw and SmackDown. I think I'm going to switch up the layout of this. Our first design was, of course, just have the little Marks the announce table while we talk. I'll let you see some other people as we go on with this. What else? We were going to do this every Friday or every Thursday after TNA, talk about all the wrestling in the week. But I think it's better if we do Monday and Tuesday to talk about who won, whether it was Monday Night Raw or Tuesday Night SmackDown. And then we can talk about NXT or Lucha when it comes back, and Impact on Thursday nights, and then we'll talk about the pay-per-views on Saturdays. G1 Climax is going on right now. I think we'll do a big ending of that. So
I'll be a part of that.
Yeah, we can't review that every day, or that'll get monotonous.
yeah, I don't think I could even watch it every day. Like, I think I'm just watching it like
We could review the
very
pay-per-views
slowly,
also
so.
for New Japan. Yeah.
yeah. So let's talk about.
I watch it in my free time. I don't watch it live. I watch it in my free time.
Yeah, because live here is like 2 a.m.
Yeah. Oh boy, 2 a.m. You know.
Oh boy.
Oh no, it's like 4 a.m. Like 2 a.m. is at least decent because like I'm like most of the time I'm going to bed by 2.
Mm-hmm.
But then like 4 a.m. it's just like shit. Are you kidding me? And then I gotta stay up for 3-4 hours to watch the pay-per-view. Then I can go to sleep.
Who's gonna watch wrestling at 2 a.m.? Us. Oh boy, 2 a.m.
Boy. New Japan. New
New Japan.
Yeah. All right, let's jump right in here. So let's talk about Monday Night Raw. Of course, we had Stephanie McMahon, Mick Foley talking about the Universal Championship, which it's kind of surprising that Raw will do a Universal Championship, but SmackDown won't do a new women's title. Is that at least confirmed right now?
Well,
Yes.
SmackDown.
Yes.
The thing is,
Yes.
we got some things to say about that concept.
So yeah, the whole Divas women's thing going on in SmackDown, I really hope they don't call it the Divas title. So
They were doing so good getting away from that word.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was surprised to see. I kind of knew Finn Balor would be in the mix of the world title scene in terms of being pushed for that Fatal 4-Way concept of we would have 2 Fatal 4-Ways on Raw, and then we'll have a big main event match. Of course, it was Roman Reigns and then Finn Balor. I knew Reigns wasn't going to win it. I was pretty sure he wasn't going to win that one. However, I thought they would have gave it to someone else like Sami Zayn, or even if they rehashed it into like Sheamus or something ridiculous. But
Yeah.
I didn't think Finn.
I
I didn't think Finn. So
I
it's crazy.
disagree with the Roman part. I thought Roman was going to win it because I thought they were still high on him, and at the time I didn't think they were doing all the great booking decisions that that you can see they've done over the past 2 nights. Like I thought they were going to go Roman. I thought they were going to go Cena or Bray. And I'm
They literally basically looked at like a pamphlet that said, "Okay, what did we used to do? Let's do the complete
let's
opposite."
do the opposite of that.
Like I thought, Baron Corbin being in the match for one was a shocker. I thought we were gonna get Apollo Crews victory or something of that aspect.
I thought,
But
yeah, no.
Ziggler's a weird one because Ziggler's a face technically. Maybe he'll get disgruntled and become a heel.
He would have been, out of everybody in that match, I would have probably put him as like the 5th most likely to win. Like he
Yeah.
was behind Cruz.
The only person under him would probably be Cruz.
Mm-hmm.
No. I would be Corbin would be the one below him. I thought
Oh no,
Cruz
because
had more
Corbin
of a chance.
because Corbin has that whole like they love the big guy and all that.
No,
Yeah,
but he can't
really-
wrestle.
yeah, exactly.
He's not
the
a good wrestler.
Yeah, maybe that's why, because they said SmackDown will be the wrestling show. I have to disagree though when it comes to the aspect of I thought, Bray Wyatt somewhat can wrestle. I would say he's a great talker.
Yeah.
Not as good as Ziggler, of course. Apollo Crews, great wrestler. Uhaa Nation, phenomenal. AJ Styles,
Yeah.
the phenomenal one. Even Cena.
He might be the
but
best
still.
wrestler in the world today, AJ Styles.
So, I kind of knew they weren't going to do AJ and Dean. I thought for a second it was gonna be Dean and Bray though. Maybe
I thought it was
even-
gonna be Bray also.
Maybe even Dean and Apollo, Dean and
Like I had
Baron,
called
but-
Bray yesterday when we were watching Raw. Do you remember me saying? I said it's gonna be Bray. Bray's like the only guy I could really see facing him.
Yeah, definitely.
Because everybody else was feuds, and
Let's talk about Nia Jax for a second, and let's talk about Nia Jax and Braun Strowman, the two big people in Raw who faced
Local talent.
Lately, they've been having a lot of local talent. I actually knew one of the local talents, named James Ellsworth. His name is, I'm not gonna say his actual last name because I don't know if I really want him to get tangled up with, you know, people knowing his last name. But let's just call him Jimmy Dream. That was his independent name. I don't know if they'll go do stuff with James Ellsworth in terms of, because he got invited to the Chris Jericho podcast. So thumbs up for you. So that's really cool to see. Even though he completely got squashed by Braun Strowman, he really made
He got killed. That reverse chokeslam. Like, what is that? That chokeslam. That reverse chokeslam.
I don't even know. But Nia Jax, I feel like Nia Jax should have done more than Britt Baker, but
That dude can wrestle.
oh man. Roman Reigns defeating Sami Zayn, Chris Jericho, and Sheamus. I wasn't too high up on that. I thought Sami definitely should have won that match. Even Jericho, even if Jericho would have won, Jericho and Finn Balor would have been cool to see. Finn defeating Cesaro, Kevin Owens, and Rusev. I kind of expected that, and they kind of made Finn Balor seem really important with the leather jacket, everything. They weren't going to do the whole demon Finn Balor, even though he still does the same.
They'll say that for SummerSlam.
Like all that, you know, type of entrance stuff.
they'll save it for the big cards.
Yeah, I think SummerSlam. I don't know if he'll keep the moniker of the Demon has arrived. I know he's got the T-shirt now, but it will be interesting to see his SummerSlam.
I want to see him do different
Right.
kind of like stuff, like what he used to do on the Indies.
It's because he could.
Like
get
he was
away
the
with
Joker
it.
at one point.
Because he could get away with it, though. That's the thing. Like now you can't really.
Oh
get
yeah,
it-
that's true.
Now that you're on this global platform, you can't really get away with it too much. Even New Japan, I guess,
WWE
was
could just
pushing it.
buy out a bunch of random things.
Yeah. Neville defeating Curtis Axel, okay. The Club attacking New Day. I don't know if I'm too big on...
That sounds like a tag team title match coming up, probably at SummerSlam.
Yeah, that's SummerSlam. Like SummerSlam's card is starting to somewhat take shape.
Yeah, I can also see them dropping the titles.
By the way, I thought Enzo and Big Cass deserved more than the Shining Stars.
Did they really? I missed that part. Did they really
Yeah.
get the Shining Stars?
In-
Well,
in
and
terms
then,
of a
and then that,
feud, yeah.
and then that moment in the match, they didn't deserve their match to be the comedy spot that was.
Wait, did you say it
Oh,
turned
let's
into a
have-
feud
Let's have
also?
Golden Truth come out and play
Kinda.
Pokemon Go.
Kinda.
With who? With the Shooting Stars?
Shining Stars of the Caribbean.
Shit, whatever the hell their name is.
So I'm
They're
gonna
the Shining Stars of North Carolina.
I'm gonna tell everybody. No, they're not. I'm gonna tell everybody my concept of how I would book this. You would have the Shining Stars looking really strong, maybe even have them get a win, but have it be dirty. Have Carlito come back or something, and then Enzo and Big Cass. You have Enzo be like, "I'm a certified G, but I brought in Rikishi to kick your butt," or something like that. Like someone who's like, you know, cool with the crowd. Like I think Rikishi would be a great one.
Rikishi would be like a perfect one for
Sky
their
Too
dinner.
Hottie. But I think you couldn't do all craziness with Grandmaster Sexay and all of them. You can only do like one of them. So I think that would be cool. I mean, they got Shelton Benjamin coming back for SmackDown, so it's definitely a great time to have people on Raw coming back. Especially,
And they had another return tonight on SmackDown.
yeah, Raw,
Yes, they
Raw
did.
is 3 hours. SmackDown's 2 hours. SmackDown, even though they didn't use all their talent, which is smart and bad in a way, because American Alpha, I feel like they should have been there tonight. Keeping them for a later date might be good, unless they do the obvious and they put them with Shelton Benjamin.
New Team Angle.
Well, they're next week.
Yeah,
Team
They'll be there
Benjamin.
next week.
Team Benjamin, and then they break away and be like, we don't need you. So who knows? Who knows? Sasha Banks, new women's champion. That is crazy.
Yeah, you
That's-
never see a live TV change anymore.
That's crazy, especially like the women's championship. I didn't think
Mm-hmm.
like I would expect US, IC. I would not expect tag team, and I would not expect anything bigger than that. Especially the women's championship, with how in high regards they have it. But I think Sasha Banks really deserved it for one, of course, and she really put over the fact that it's going to be a wrestling belt for women. So props to her. what are you guys thinking about Finn Balor and Seth Rollins at SummerSlam? I think
I
personally
think that's going to be a great match.
that's going to be bigger than Dolph and
AJ
Dean.
versus Cena.
Dolph and Dean.
And I think it's going to be better than Orton and Lesnar.
Yeah,
I think
As it pertains to a better match. Like, it's
Yeah,
going to be a
that's-
10 times...
that's going to be the main
It'll
event.
easily be the best match on the card. It'll easily be the best match on the card. Yeah.
do you think
definitely.
do you think the main event will be the Universal title, the World title, or Brock and Orton?
I think it's
No, Dean.
It would be Universal title.
Universal.
It might be the World title. It's
No,
going to
it
be
won't.
Brock Orton.
It's going to be, in going up the card, it's going to be Dean versus Ziggler with the third to last, or with the second to last. Then it's going to be Brock and Orton second to last, and then Universal last. Which I think we might see a heel turn at that last match, like a little screwy finish with Reigns coming in. But we'll get to that during our.
I would put money on first hour of the pay-per-view is Dean and Dolph. Second
You
hour,
think that's-
I think
yeah.
if they were to play it smart.
Well, it's another 4-hour thing
It's
like
a
they did last
4-hour
year.
show.
Ooh, okay, then maybe second hour. Yeah, second hour title match, third hour title match, and then fourth hour Brock and Orton to close it out. Because they're putting a lot of steam behind Brock and Orton, even though it's been a SmackDown thing. I think if you have the right people, and it's kind of hard because there's no Heyman, so I don't
Is
know.
he not coming back?
It's not confirmed.
He currently doesn't have a contract. It's very
Yeah.
murky.
It's very in like the shadows because of the whole. He was doing a interview in the UK, British Isles. something
Yeah.
like that.
With Osprey, right?
Yeah, and I gave the contract to Osprey for Evolve. So there's all of that going down. There's a whole lot of stuff going down with him. I guess there's some discrepancy with his contract. They would only pay him per appearance, and there's no downside for it, but they don't use him a lot. He's used very sparingly. And of course he's on Raw, which Stephanie McMahon, of course the dirt sheets say all this stuff, so take it with a grain of salt with anything on the internet. Stephanie's not big on Heyman's ideas too much, so it's that gray area of he's not on the brand that he should be on if he's with Brock. So I don't know. I think Brock and Orton closing out might be the way to go. But if you want to have a great wrestling match, close it off, I think Seth and Finn Balor would definitely do the job done. More than Dean and Dolph, sadly. But in terms of who won this week, do you guys want to do, I guess, Raw review numbers like that, and then talk about who won in our opinion or stuff like that? Or do
Yeah.
wanna
You mean
just-
who won between Raw and SmackDown?
Yeah, or do you just want to do straight like numbered review for each, and then talk about who won?
No, let's do that. The one you just said, the number for each, and then who won.
All right, so Uncle John, you there?
No.
Okay, Miguel, you there?
Yeah.
How many Braun Strowmans doing an inverted chokeslam to my friend Jimmy Dream would you give it tonight or last night? But
I would give it a solid 10 out of 10 points.
he was not drafted. Mullins.
Yeah.
How many certified G's would you give it?
I'm going to have to give it a 10.
Dang. Ryan. How many Finn Balor leather jackets would you give it?
9.
9. Alright.
9.
And I'm gonna give it a perfect 10. You can bank on that. I think Raw was perfect. I don't think there's really anything I would change. If I could change anything, it would just be the little nitty gritty stuff in terms of the amount of local people they use. And I could see, like, local talent isn't too bad using. I just think when they have so many people on a bloated roster, whatever. But definitely Enzo Big Cass feuding with the Shining Stars. I wasn't big on that. So next up, Miguel, let's go to SmackDown. How many Heath Slaters getting gored would you give it tonight? That was a minor thing, but hey.
I'll give it a 9 out of 10.
All right. Mullins. How many great Apollo Crews winning a battle royale would you give it tonight? That was great.
9.5 out of 10.
Ryan, how many after this you're gonna beat up John Cena? Would you give it?
An 8.
An 8. All right. I'm gonna give SmackDown. Even though I am Team Blue, SmackDown your vote. I'm gonna give it a 9. Yeah, just a 9, not a 9.5. Dolph Ziggler selling his way to the top, because I don't think so. I don't think Dolph honestly should be the one feuding with Dean. It's kind of awkward situation because I guess
It's weird. They sort of just put him in there.
That's why I gave it a 9.5, because I don't understand that.
yeah,
finish.
that and the whole Divas women's thing going on.
That thing was hilarious. That thing was
Weird.
All read everything.
like, it was just hilarious. Like, and then she had like a boxing announcer do her little entrance or whatever that
Yeah,
was.
that and the women's Becky Lynch Natalia thing was a rubber match. Was other than that, other highlight I would say Randy Orton cussing, talking about how he messed up.
Oh, yeah,
his-
that's another thing. He might be hurt. He might be hurt.
yeah, unless he was doing some great
Yeah.
selling, but
He was either
And
great
he's
selling,
gone.
which Orton's not known for selling great. Let's be
Oh
honest
look!
here.
Oh look! Orton's back, and it's gone.
and
he's gone.
Shelton Benjamin returning, that's a great thing.
That's a cool thing.
Rhino returning, cool thing.
When that vignette started, I literally thought it was gonna be Angle, and I almost threw
Yeah.
my computer across the room.
I thought it was Angle
Who
too.
knows? He
Yeah.
might be coming back also.
Who knows?
We got a lot of returns happening probably sometime soon, so it's gonna be interesting in the WWE.
All right, let's talk about who won in your terms this week. SmackDown, I appreciate the returning people. I think they need to use the people they have. Raw, you need to stop using local talent and use the people you have.
Yeah, you need to
So-
start debuting some people to put in those spots rather than.
Well, unless they're squash matches like they did with Braun, they need to put local talent so they're not like squashing like talent they have.
I think honestly, I think they should save that crap for main event or like what's the point of having
Superstars.
them do it
Yeah.
on? What's the point of having them do it on a Raw? Like a
Good point.
5-minute squash match on Raw, and then they even gave him time on the microphone to speak, which I thought was hilarious. So
Yeah.
any man with 2 fighting
He
fists.
spoke during Braun's entire entrance, which is even funnier. They just like shit all over the entrance and just let this guy talk.
Any man with 2 fighting hands or 2 fighting arms has a chance of beating Braun Strowman. That was great. Who won this week? I would say Team Raw, sadly. So
Oh, and then what about the true underdog of the entire Raw episode?
who?
The newest member of the New Day.
Ah, yes.
I
Boy.
really didn't want to talk
Sonny
about
Boy.
that because it was beyond scripted, beyond they had the guy. There's a difference between being a obvious actor, which they paid for. Like if they were gonna pay for an actor, they could have had him played off like he was a fan. The fact that Biggie, knew his name and all that stuff, and was already calling him Sonny Boy, and just all this ridiculous stuff. He should have acted better, in my opinion, when it came to being fluent and being like literally a fan taken out of the crowd, not being an obvious
Plant.
a plant or a spot.
A plant. Yeah, a
Um,
plant.
Whatever. That was weird. That was whatever. Yeah. So, what do you guys think? I said Team Raw, sadly.
I do think Raw won this week, not by much, but Raw did win this week, just
Yep.
because of the fact that I feel like that extra hour, like, because the thing is they used that extra hour to their advantage this week.
Yeah, because they can give us a strong first hour. They can let us calm down the second hour and give us a great third hour. SmackDown, they got to keep us entertained for 2 hours straight. That's why
I even mentioned it tonight about the whole, like, literally the thing about SmackDown is it reminded me of the Attitude Era. It was constant something coming at you.
Yeah, that's why I really like
Because they have to.
SmackDown this week, definitely, there's something always going on, and I like that. But I think the added factor of we could do a first hour of Raw and then chill out the second hour and not get burned out and by the third hour we were like, all right, let's do the third hour. Let's see who's going to become the number 1 contender or number 2 contender for the Universal Championship. Weird title name. I'm really curious to see what it looks like. I think they need to paint the back of the straps blue or something and just have a blue one and a red one if they're going to do that much of a copycat. But Cole, you there?
Yes, I am.
Did you watch Raw and SmackDown?
Yes, I did watch both.
How many Raw Sunny Boys would you give it?
Both Raw and SmackDown?
Just Raw. Just Raw.
No, just Raw.
Just Raw. Sunny
Oh,
Boys.
just Raw?
Sunny Boys.
I'll give it an 8. It does have hard times trying to go through 3 hours and keep it entertaining.
All right. How many team, or not team, but how many Welcome to the New Errors, as Heath Slater would say, would you give SmackDown though?
Honestly,
Mm-hmm.
I've always been a SmackDown mark, so I'll give it a 10.
Oh dang! So you're pulling more towards the whole Team SmackDown this week. So.
Yep.
You really can't say neither was bad. They were great.
Honestly, like,
I really
literally,
enjoyed both.
like, if Dolph didn't win that main event, like, and or at least, like, they went in a route that made more sense, like a Wyatt, like, it would have got a 10 for me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a new era, so.
Let's talk about some of the people that are stuck in the I would say stuck in the murky, muddy waters of this whole brand split. Obvious one, Heath Slater, but I mean, he got some time, so that's pretty cool.
Heath Slater.
Carmella.
Yeah, better time than the Vaudevillains.
Carmella's a big one, I think. Let's talk about her. Let's talk about
Don't talk about the Vaudevillains. I love the Vaudevillains.
They're
Kalisto. Kalisto's a big one.
Why are you saying Carmella? She was in a segment tonight.
You can't.
Yeah, but she has nothing to do.
But then she followed up with Eva Marie, like.
Yeah, good point.
So, I think she's kind of in that awkward situation because you get that Enzo and Cass vibe that you need from SmackDown, but it's like
she's not.
she's so
the
Just
best.
sort of there.
she's so green.
Yeah.
Alexa Bliss is more green. I think if you ask me, Carmella without Enzo and Cass worries me on the microphone, like if she can handle herself. Alexa Bliss though, she could be a good heel, maybe.
Yeah, without she doesn't need Blake and Murphy.
Yeah, Eva Marie is awkward because she was with Dana Brooke, right?
Yes.
And now she's,
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
now she's done.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of happy that they made sure to give her an announcer and like to pull off the heel heat.
Yeah. Who even knows what's going on with that? I hope they have a new women's.
That was the
title.
funniest thing. I was like, "What the hell's going on? Is there an announcer in the ring?"
Yeah. Hopefully they have a new women's title with that. People on Raw that are stuck in the mix. Curtis Axel, big one.
Yep. Bo Dallas.
Bo Dallas.
Bo Dallas.
I would say even Neville. Neville, if this cruiserweight division doesn't pick up, which is really sad because they have a cruiserweight classic, and I think this would be the perfect time to not even do the cruiserweight classic. Like, as bad as that sounds, like, I love the cruiserweight classic, but it's really bad to say we're gonna have our cruiserweight division and then have a cruiserweight classic follow it.
The
I know
bad thing
a
about
person
having-
that's Go ahead. Sorry.
Shoot.
the bad thing about having the cruiserweight division on Raw is, yes, it's 3 hours, and you're probably going to see like one match for it.
Yeah.
But the main thing is if it's actually that match, like you see, let's say Ho Ho Lun versus
Ho Ho
Lince
Lun.
Dorado.
Ho Ho Lun.
Ho Ho Lun
He has my external hard drive right now.
versus Lince Dorado. And do you really think that's going to be memorable to a segment involving like Sasha Banks and Nia Jax?
That dude can wrestle.
Who knows? I think Well, isn't the winner of the Cruiserweight Classic getting the Cruiserweight Championship?
Yes, they will be getting the Cruiserweight Championship.
So that's a good side. That's definitely a good positive during this tournament, is that we have a guaranteed Cruiserweight champion who could have a great feud with Neville or someone of that caliber. But it's got to be someone entertaining. It's got to be someone who can wrestle good. And that's the sticky situation of who's it going to be? And how many of those guys are they going to sign after this?
And another thing is, this is not like NXT branded, which it would have done wonderful on NXT. Because it's Triple H focusing on that and that alone. Going into Raw, however, I don't believe that it's going to be showcased as importantly as the rest of the championships are.
Well,
So
there are two guys in the Cruiserweight Open that you could obviously sign and bring up to the roster right away, and that's Tajiri and Brian Kendrick.
Yeah.
People.
Yeah, Coda's already been signed to NXT, and
do you think
So is Grand Metallic.
Oh,
Tajiri signed part-time.
have they already revealed the Cruiserweight title, like what it's going to look like?
No.
I thought it was just a trophy. I didn't think it was an actual championship.
I thought it was a trophy too, but there's this rumor flying around that it's the championship.
I'm not sure.
You got to think about it more though. Like you get a trophy, cool, but you get a championship. That's a whole different ball game, because now you're automatically on the main roster, main contract. You're already set. You're already champion. So I mean, and you gotta get a banging feud. Yeah, you get a banging feud with like some great people on the main roster. At least on Raw, who are cruiserweights. I can't really think of too many right now, but I know Neville. That's like the biggest one.
Sin Cara's on Raw.
Sin Cara, you could have.
Sin Cara's sticky. He's in a weird situation.
Actually, we never
so...
seen. He was never there.
Yeah, Sin Cara is one of those guys in the murky situation.
Especially because the whole Simon Gotch backstage thing. Like, who knows if they're gonna do anything with that.
Well, they were more mad at Simon Gotch than Sin Cara for that. But another person you could put in there that is actually in a tag team that's pretty small is Enzo.
Man.
I mean, if like
it
Enzo,
might be a Spud thing at that point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another thing I want to see is like, if anything, I want to see them rip off a TNA storyline where
Final
it was
Relation?
TNA does it enough.
3D versus the X Division.
Oh, who knows?
I totally forgot they're still in the company. Oh, there are people that are going to be lost in those two, Devon and Bubba. They're going to be lost.
Completely lost right now.
Yeah. Another person is Titus O'Neil. He won't be.
So
He touched
another...
Daniel Bryan. He's out.
So there's another thing I want to bring up.
Go ahead.
It's how it's obviously the Cruiserweight Championship is going to be on Raw.
It'd be better if it was on SmackDown, though.
The Women's
SmackDown
Championship
Go ahead.
is on Raw. The Tag Team Championship is on Raw.
Yes.
So what is SmackDown going to get?
That was what I was just saying right there. They're lacking championships, so wouldn't it be good to bring the
They need a tag title and a women's title there. Which they set the seeds for at least the women's title this week.
Yeah, the thing that bothers me is that they're bringing the Universal title to Raw, and then it's like, that's going to devalue Dean, I feel like, because that made him special because he's the only world champion. However, once you have that Universal title and you say Seth Rollins or Finn Balor, please be Finn Balor, because if it's Seth Rollins, what was the point of having Dean, you know? But it's also the aspect of, if we keep the New Day as champs, if we keep Sasha Banks as champs, but we add 2 new titles to the other brand, that's going to slowly devalue them also, because I mean, look at the US and the IC. It's mostly just a mid-card thing for those people, and then the tag team division, it splits it in half, and it splits up the titles, prestige also, despite the overness of clearly Sasha Banks and the New Day, and the overness of Dean Ambrose. But once you add Finn Balor into that aspect and people start seeing him do his thing on pay-per-views, it's a whole different ball game, I feel like.
And on regular TV. But another point
Yeah.
is how the tag team titles were showcased on Raw and SmackDown when they were not unified.
Mm-hmm.
On Raw, you mostly saw, like, oh my god, Hardy Boys, Rated RKO, DX. But on SmackDown, you saw more guys like London and Kendrick. You saw, like, MVP,
Deuce and Domino.
Deuce and Domino.
And this will definitely be where American Alpha shines. I feel like
Yep.
this will be where they shine. Shelton Benjamin.
Yep. Shelton
I feel
Benjamin.
like Shelton
What do you guys think?
could-
I could see him going after the IC championship.
I really hope he feuds with Miz, because Miz
Oh,
has
yeah.
Miz has no one to feud with. Now that's saying something at the moment, because you could easily just put him in the Apollo Crews or even Bray Wyatt, oddly enough, or Baron Corbin. I was trying to think of who else, because I think
Don't throw Baron Corbin at him.
Cena and Styles, they got one more good match in them. So that's that. IC title though, I feel like Shelton Benjamin coming back for it, that'd be great. Him doing stuff with tag teams with American Alpha. It's kind of murky.
Team Benjamin.
It's kind of murky.
I highly don't want him to do that. I want him to be singles competitor.
It might get them really over though in the process. But if you look at it, if you're a good wrestler, you can get it. Like, they're great wrestlers, and they can get themselves over just wrestling. However, I could see the aspect of like Darren Young needing crazy Bob Backlund to do it, which fell flat. Epico and Primo, Shining Stars, even as Fernando and Diego, when they were doing the mask thing, what was that called?
Los Matadores.
Los Matadores, like, that was good for a while, but guess who they needed to keep themselves, over? They needed El Torito, which
El Torito.
So
Primo had to have Carlito.
So maybe this is where we get.
There's another person that could be returning.
Maybe that's where we get Carlito. Like, Raw gets Carlito, SmackDown gets Shelton Benjamin. Like, who knows?
Raw gets Carlito and MVP, and SmackDown gets
Rhino and
Benjamin and Brian Myers.
Brian Myers. Kurt Hawkins, for the people that don't know.
Kurt Hawkins has been confirmed to return, though.
Which is crazy, but still, it's Kurt Hawkins.
Let's fantasy book real quick, and I guess we'll call it an episode.
Got it.
All right. Women's title. Just Raw's women's title. Who are the two people? Who are the?
Do you mean for SummerSlam?
Yeah.
That's gonna be Sasha
Banks.
versus Charlotte.
All right.
And Charlotte.
All right.
Sasha and Charlotte.
Sasha and Charlotte. I say that one too. U.S. title. Rusev. Who's he going against?
Maybe Darren Young.
I say Cesaro.
Darren Young.
Oh God, no! I don't want to see Darren Young die.
I mean, I don't want to see that either, but I'm thinking logical.
Could you think Neville?
For the
Yeah, Neville
US?
could be one.
I'm gonna say Sammy.
I'm gonna
Sammy's
say-
a good one also.
I'll go with Sammy for US.
Yes.
I'll go with Cesaro.
Of course, we have our Universal
Cesaro?
title. We have our Universal title match, and of course, tag team will most likely be New Day in the club.
Yeah.
On to SmackDown. World title is already gonna be Dean and Dolph.
Gonna love that.
If we have a new tag team, if we have a new tag team title add to this mix, I'm gonna say American Alpha
Definitely,
and
yeah, but definitely.
Vaudevillains, or I would say Hype Bros versus American Alpha, because maybe even if it's face on face, but I think that would
because it looks like Usos and Breezango are gonna be going for a little while in pre-shows.
Oh, maybe Breezango.
Yeah, good point, them
Maybe
too.
Breezango. They might be.
They did win at
Yeah,
the
Breezango,
pre-show.
because I feel like they
Wait.
won at the pre-show.
Yeah, they beat the Usos.
SmackDown has always been the tag team brand, so why not a 2v2v2?
I don't want.
Good point.
I don't want the new SmackDown Women's match to be like a battle royale or something ridiculous. So let's just stick with two people. Clearly, Becky Lynch will be one. However, if I had to pick a second person,
Alexa.
No.
Could be Eva, sadly.
Eva Marie.
Yeah,
Eva
unfortunately.
Yeah, Eva Marie.
If they would, if
Becky
they were
and
smart,
Nail.
that
No.
she's still injured though.
She appeared.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean she wasn't injured.
I mean, Heath Slater
Heath-
appeared and he got gored, so I mean,
Heath Slater got.
Look, Randy Orton appeared. He's
Dude,
out
does
of
this mean that we
injury.
can
He's got
confirm
really
Heath
big
Slater
problems.
versus Rhino for SummerSlam?
I hope not.
Oh.
I don't think he's gonna. He's
Wait,
gonna be
does that-
doing his
does that
thing.
determine whether or not he gets a brand?
You want to know something that they might do with Slater, which
Yeah.
it won't last that long,
But
but it's
he-
cool. Remember in 2012, every time he said something, someone old returned. What if they
Yeah.
did that with a free agent every week?
Yeah, what if they
Yeah.
did that?
Yeah.
That'd be
Yeah,
hilarious.
Next week will be Hawkins, and then after that, they just keep being
Shelton
someone different.
Benjamin, Carlito.
Benjamin will eventually be
Yeah.
that guy.
Yeah, that could be.
that
That
would be
could be
great.
something Slater does.
That'd be great.
Heath Slater just brings people back.
Yeah, he did that in 2012.
IC title. Who we got?
Golly.
Let's see, it's gonna be Miz and Miz, maybe Cruz.
Yeah.
How about Mojo?
No, because it's weird because Mojo and Rusev, but that led to
Right.
nothing. But maybe this will lead to tag
I
title.
I don't know.
I say Zack Ryder, Miz and Zack Ryder.
No,
That's a
I'm
good
gonna go with
one.
a
no,
long
I don't want to see Zack Ryder and Miz. Like,
Zack Ryder was doing awful tonight, by the way, if anybody else
dude,
noticed.
If you saw him tonight, I don't know what happened.
Zack
tonight.
Ryder and I literally, Aaron was beating him up.
Yeah.
I don't know what was going on. I felt bad for him tonight.
There was a glitch in the time system.
I'm gonna say Shelton Benjamin and Miz. If they are smart and they don't want to do the obvious, which is Shelton Benjamin with American Alpha, Shelton Benjamin and the Miz. So I'm gonna say that one. So
What are you thinking, Cole?
Versus Miz or Kalisto versus Miz?
Kalisto. Wait, is Kalisto? Yeah, Kalisto's SmackDown. It could be Kalisto. That's a good pick.
all right. So I think that's everything for this week. We will catch you all probably Thursday or Friday to talk about Impact and NXT. Because I'm really curious to see Samoa Joe and Shinsuke, and definitely the continuation of the Hardys. Because let's be real, that's always fun. So.
Yeah, the heart.